Hello everybody, I'm day weather meteorologist Don Day with your Public Lands Council weekly weather update for this August 23rd, 2025, brought to you by WSR Insurance Services Incorporated and Ag Risk Advisors. Well, what we see coming over the days ahead and the week ahead is actually finally some good news for the extremely dry areas of western Colorado, western Wyoming, Idaho, Utah, back into Nevada, even parts of California and Oregon, Arizona, northern, northwest areas of New Mexico, and many areas of the southwest United States and areas west of the divide finally have some decent chances of rain over the next 7 days. Will it be enough to alleviate the drought? No, but it's better than nothing, and it's the best chance of rain we've seen this summer in those areas. And a lot of the nation, especially along and east of the Continental Divide, will be looking at some cooler weather. In fact, well below average temperatures for more than a week. So basically, the last days of August will be cooler than average for the far east and central U.S., along the east slopes of the Rockies, while it will get hot in the Pacific Northwest and parts of California. But the interior west has got those chances of rain, which would be good because, as we have seen all summer, this area of the United States just has not been able to get the moisture. While it's been concentrated, and this is the last 7 days, continues to be in the northwest Corn Belt and the north central United States. But what we're going to see here over the next week is this part of the country I just highlighted is going to actually be pretty dry. It's going to be this part of the United States that has a chance of getting wet, as you'll see here in a minute. And it's also been hot with a lot of August heat in the nation's midsection and parts of the west. But this will reverse as well. When we look at the latest drought monitor, you can continue to see all the red, and it's backed up along and west of the Continental Divide, which has been the story all summer season. While east of the divide, rainfall has really been pretty abundant. Nobody's really suffering from any significant drought east of that black line there. But the moisture, the chances of precipitation we see coming, will affect some of those western areas, as high pressure is going to be bottled up in the western United States, but we're going to see subtropical moisture trapped right here as the cold front brings cooler, drier air into Canada, from Canada, into the Great Lakes, the northern plains, and the east. This will keep the moisture in the west bottled up. There are temperatures for the next 7 days. Look at those cool temperatures for a lot of the nation, a lot of eastern Canada, with the heat really bottled up in western Canada and the Pacific Northwest. So a lot of the U.S., including Mexico, will be cooler than average over the next 7 days. And when you compare that to the 30-year average, those are some pretty cool temperatures for the month of August. Now, when it comes to moisture, what I'm showing you here is what's called precipitable water. How much water is in the air that will help produce clouds and precipitation. Where you see it white, blue, and green, that means the amount of water that's in the air is above average for this time of year. And you can see that for a lot of this 7-day period coming on up, there's a lot of moisture. And it stays there in the western United States. Where you see the brown, well, the brown is going to go into the northern plains, the Great Lakes, and the east. That's why they're going to really dry out and see a cool, dry Canadian air mass settle on in. Showers and thunderstorm activity is going to be more common along and west of the divide and in the Rockies and the desert southwest. And here over the next 2 weeks, you can see that we finally have some precipitation along and west of the divide where it hasn't been all summer. Now, is this going to end the drought? No, but this is going to give these areas some opportunities for some badly needed rainfall, and rainfall in some of the areas where they're fighting wildfires is going to be a good opportunity. So keep our fingers and toes crossed that does come to fruition. Have yourself a good week. We'll see you next week.